How did you become the writer of Until Dawn? Or I guess there were two writers, right?
Yes, thereby hangs a tale.
Yeah.
So Larry Fessenden, who was my co-writer on Until Dawn, and produced a lot of my films, and produced all of Ty West's films, Ty West's early films. He is a New York filmmaker. He's sort of a New York Roger Corman, indie filmmaker. He's produced a lot of movies by a lot of people who came through the New York indie scene in the early 2000s. And he was offered the opportunity to do a writing test for Until Dawn when Supermassive was first looking for American writers to write American teens. And I think the way it happened was so there are Wendigos in Until Dawn, spoiler alert. There were Wendigos in it, so I think he was a natural fit because he made a movie called Wendigo and he's very familiar with the myth. But he really doesn't know anything about games, or didn't at the time. He's a little bit older. And since we knew each other and we had worked on some writing projects together, he knew that I played a lot of games. I was very interested in games and also sort of the tech side of it. And I'd done some tech world work and programming, things like that. And we had been writing together on and off. So he asked me to write on this test with him. And I'm pretty sure how it happened was that he waited until the last possible minute because it looked like it was only 20 pages. And what he didn't realize, it was 20 pages of prompts that, when filled out with dialogue, would be about a feature-length script, like 2 hours, And so he came to me and he said, "Do you want to help me write this?" And I looked at it and I was like, "Oh my God, Larry, this is like a ton of work." So I spent 3 or 4 days just writing as fast as I could. And then Larry and I spent the weekend sitting in his kitchen in New York, punching up all the dialogue and going through. And I was kind of teaching him how the branching worked and how what it meant, why certain things would work here that didn't work in film or vice versa. And I was learning a lot from him about writing dialogue because I wouldn't have considered myself a good dialogue writer at that point. And we punched it up together, read it back and forth over a weekend, and then that got us the job, which was crazy. And that chapter, almost verbatim of the game, is Mike and Jess walk from the lodge to the little isolated cabin where they're gonna get romantic. And so that section went into the final version of the PS3 version of the game, and then was basically adapted from those lines for the PS4 version of the game. So yeah, what we did in that weekend made it into the final thing.